Hello, YouTube. My name is Alan, and it's that time once again. Let's talk metal. Tonight, going to be talking about, well, recent pickups. Coming into 2024, one of my New Year's resolutions was to work on trying to buy and obtain less new music. I got a ton of stuff in the second half of 2023, and there's, thousands of titles behind me and on my hard drive already. So this year, really want to focus more on paying attention to stuff I already have, revisiting things I haven't played in a long time, and giving some things more time and a second chance that maybe I rushed past too quickly beforehand. So far, I've done pretty good. I'm recording this in early March, and I really haven't obtained that much so far in 2024. I have ordered a couple of CDs here and there, used things. So it's been like one or two here, one or two there, one here. And let's see, I have not been to any record shows up to this point. I've stopped by, some different stores a few times, but again, it's typically been like two CDs here, two CDs there. There was once at the end of January where I got about five used CDs. They had very clearly had someone bring in a collection, and so I picked up about five or so things. So, again, adding it all up, yes, there's been kind of a steady stream of things coming in, but it's been a relatively small amount. There haven't been any giant piles of things coming in one after another after another. So overall, I'm relatively happy with the pace I've been working at in terms of picking up new stuff this year. I haven't gone cold turkey and got nothing at all, but I have not been dropping tons of money, constantly ordering things, having boxes show up every other day either. Just don't really need that. Then I checked the mail today. Some sick little monkey apparently ordered a lot of CDs recently. So yeah, this would be the sort of first big order of 2024. What happened here? Hear me out. Yeah, one of my favorite sellers on Discogs had their shop closed for a while. I don't know. People often will just shutter the shop for a while if they're busy, going to be on vacation or stuff like that. So I had noticed this person, had just had their shop basically offline for quite a while. I was like, anyway, whatever. And while I was checking on something else recently, I noticed that they had their storefront back open. I was like, oh, okay. Well, have they put everything back up? And it actually looked like they had done kind of a complete reset. A lot of their older stocks seemed to have been moved on, wasn't relisted, and they had mostly new stuff posted, but it also looked like they had restructured on price quite a bit. So they were focused more on used CDs at a lower price rather than new CDs at kind of, standard new CD price. Don't know if the person is selling off part of their personal collection, if they just happen to buy into a very big collection and now they're selling off the used stuff. Whatever the case may be, I put a couple of things in the cart. Then we made that classic mistake of thinking, well, let's see what else they have because I'm already paying shipping once. And I just kept adding things to the cart. I think we ended up with about 19 CDs in the order. I know. I'm a sick little monkey. It happens. Um, Two of the items the person had to write back and say they were no longer available. They're apparently selling on a couple of different platforms that are not linked through like the Crystal Commerce system. So they wrote back, within a day or so and said, sorry, I don't have these two anymore. I'm like, well, that's okay. One of them was kind of a last minute throw in just because it was cheap. The other one I wouldn't mind having, but it's not going to be that hard to track down if I really want it. So I think the box is down to 17 CDs. So that's a step in the right direction, I think. And that is the other thing to note here again. These are all used CDs to my knowledge, and they were priced to sell. And that is the kind of situation where you will get in trouble ordering more than you intended to. When everything's, 17.99 a piece, yeah, I'm not putting many things in the cart. But when the CDs are all like about $7 a piece and in good condition and such, like, oh, if you want it, that's kind of the time to get it. You're not gonna find it cheaper, and you've already got the order. You're already paying the shipping and stuff. So yeah, that is the situation where I will add more stuff. And again, I've bought from this seller multiple times in the past. I've always been happy with their shipping condition and all that. So you feel pretty good about it. If this is somebody I've never dealt with before that has like 12 feedback, maybe I don't buy that much all at once. Maybe buy a couple of things, see how it goes, then go back at a later date and buy some more. You cross your fingers that somebody else doesn't scoop it all up. But, yeah, maybe better than spending a lot of money with a new vendor right away. None of that was the case, and so Sick Little Monkey now has a box of 17 CDs that we're going to open here on camera, show folks what we've got. Because I don't know what all is in here. Do I remember some of the titles? Yes. Do I remember all of the titles? No. Yeah, I've a couple of times since ordering this, while waiting for the elevator or whatever, you kind of try to run through in your head. It's like, what was in that box? There's this. I don't think I ever got higher than 13 on the count. So I was never able to quite remember everything that's been ordered here. So I guess we find out now and see exactly what we're going to be listening to for a while moving forward. Some of these are probably titles that I've had in the past, and now I'm picking back up cheap. Some of them are things I've never owned. Some of them may be blind buys. I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. All right. So the tedious part of cutting open the box, almost done. And what do we got? Two big sealed up packages. So we got one stack of CDs. We'll have to get two. And one other big stack of CDs to get through. Let's see. These are not sealed up. So I guess we're looking in this bag first. Get this box out of the way so I have some place to put all these CDs. Now, it always does kind of bewilder and amuse me how much people like watching unboxing videos. It's not something I watch a ton of myself, but other people enjoy it. And yeah, if other folks enjoy it and get kind of a kick out of seeing what's in the box, I can do that from time to time. That's fair enough. All right, so up first we have, yeah, what is this one called again? Eyesight, not my strong suit, never has been. We've got, yeah, Jade, the Pacification of Death. This one came out relatively late in 2022. Liked the clips I heard. I believe Simon reviewed this for Heavy Metallurgy near the end of the year. I liked it, but no local store ever carried it, and I never got around to ordering it. And here was a copy for about $7. So yeah, happy to pick this one up. It was a cool album, cool cover artwork. Glad to put that one on there. So yeah, there's at least one more from 2022 that's supposed to be in here, if I remember correctly. We'll see. Okay, up next we have Paradise Lost Host. This probably won't be the last Paradise Lost CD in here, if memory serves correct. I don't know a lot of this band's catalog after 1 Second. And I'm one of those strange people that liked 1 Second, even when it came out. But I just kind of lost track of the band. The albums after that did not get good reviews. I was getting more focused on collecting and digging up older 80s metal at the time. I didn't keep up with new releases by bands very well in the late 90s for several years. So yeah, Paradise Lost just kind of fell off my radar. Here's, I figured, was a chance to pick up a few of their CDs and see where things went. I think this is one that has a relatively poor reputation, but I'm willing to give it a chance for a few bucks. A lot of these I see looks like they're priced at like $10 stickers, but again, these were much less than that. Most of these were $7 a piece in this box. So yeah, I'll be checking out some late 90s, early 2000s era Paradise Lost. That's two. Only about 15 more to go. Let's see what we've got next. Oh, yes. Simon will be happy that I've got this. It is Ara, the second one. So I had Triad 3. Nyx was an album both Simon and I liked quite a bit. He'd been egging me on that I needed to get the other one. It's like, I'll get it. I'll get it. I haven't forgot about it. Oh, here it was for a really good price. So, yep, we've added that one. It's Triad 2 something. It's in a funny font, which doesn't help. Looks like it says Hemera. So Era 2, Triad 2, Hemera. I believe this is Simon's favorite of the three Era albums. I really liked the third one, Nyx. So looking forward to checking that one out at long last. So Simon, you can get off my sick little monkey back. I have finally picked it up. All right. I'm not looking at these. I'm kind of pulling blind out of the bag. Up next, we have, the heck is it? Oh, yeah, this was one I kind of kept forgetting about. What's it called? It's got a funny title. I should know this one. It's an old one. Yes, Mysticum in the Streams of Inferno. This is one of those bands I've only heard bits and pieces of before, and it always sounds a tad interesting. You know, they had that reputation for sort of infusing a little bit more of an industrial sound into their black metal. And it's like, that's kind of neat. I'm not a huge industrial fan, just never quite clicked with that genre. But the pieces from this I've heard were interesting. It wasn't something I was ever looking for. I would never have typed Mysticum into Discogs and ordered it directly. But again, when there's already 12 things in your cart and you see this is for sale and it's again like $6 or $7, it's like, sure, now's the time to check out Mysticum. So we'll see what I think of that. That was one I had kind of forgotten was in this order. Okay, here was another one that was one of the last into the order. Tribunal, The Weight of Remembrance. This came out just maybe 2023, maybe it was late 2022, relatively recent. I know it got a lot of good reviews. This is one I heard clips from a couple of times. I was like, that sounds pretty good. And then the next time it didn't make much of an impression. Then I would revisit it and be like, oh, yeah, not too bad. And then I'd play it again and be like, I don't know about that. But again, this is, the time and place where I'll pick something like this up. One of my local stores has had a copy of this on vinyl for a while. I'm not really looking to spend, 20 something dollars to take a chance on it on vinyl. Be kind of cool to have it on vinyl, but at that price, it's like, no, I'm not sold on that one. But for $6 or $7, sold. Yes, we'll give that one a chance. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, number 6, that makes us, oh yeah, Anca Cruus, Manic Impressions. Don't have a hard copy of it. I've owned a digital copy for ages, but never had an original CD of this one. Like the band, it was there, it was cheap, so we picked that one up. All right, so let's see what we've got next. There's a few more in this bag. Okay. Yeah, I had looking at this one thinking, what's that? Never a reaction you want to have when you're looking at the things you yourself ordered and have been delivered to you, and then you look at it just like, the hell is this? Sick little monkey, something, something. Yeah, here we go. This one is Rune Magic on Funeral Wings, on Funeral Wings. Stupid fonts. So yeah, this is Scandinavian death doom band. I reviewed their early 2023 release for Heavy Metallurgy last year. Liked it, got a lot of plays out of it. It didn't get revisited much in the second half of the year, but for the first half of the year, it did quite well. It's one of those bands that has a long catalog. I just never see their stuff for sale locally anywhere I go. And here was one of the CDs like, oh, well, I liked the other one. Now, I think this one's quite a bit older, if I'm remembering correctly. I want to say this was from like 2005, 2006. The band has like a 10-year gap in their discography from something like 2007 to 2017, 2005 to 2016, somewhere right in that range. They basically went on hiatus for a while. I think this is one of the ones from right before the hiatus, but hey, if I am wrong, please leave a comment down below and let folks know that I was off base on this one. Liked what I've heard, even though it's been very little. This is again the kind of place where, yes, I'll take a chance on it here. I was never typing Rune Magic into Discogs to search out titles. I certainly wouldn't pay, $19.99 a piece to import them from Switzerland or anything. But yeah, I'll pay $7 for one. And actually, that one was actually a sealed copy. Okay, so bonus points. There were one or two of these that may have been like $1 or two more, like $8 or $9. That might have been one of them since it was sealed. I don't remember. Okay, yep. Speaking of Rune Magic, it wasn't the only one. Yep. Beyond the Cenotaph of Mankind. This is the one that I reviewed in 2023 and rather liked. So was happy to get a physical copy of this at long last. It's one again I kept my eye out for, but nobody carried it locally. So I never stumbled into it in the wild, and it wasn't one of those things I really wanted to, go and order at full price, after it had come out. So just like, I'll just wait. I'll come across it eventually. And I did. And now I have it. And now I'm happy. Happy sick little monkey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. That is 8. There's one more in this package, it feels like. Aha. Something else I reviewed last year and liked, but nobody carried it locally. And this one kind of surprised me. I thought someone would. It's Panzer's The Hallowed. With this one, I gave it a good review. I did talk perhaps a little bit too much about the fact that it does, while it's good, it does just sound a lot like other Panzer albums from the past 10 years. So you kind of have to balance that. Is this something I want to play a ton? Maybe not. At the same time, it's a band I have a soft spot for. They've always had a really quality catalog, kind of a personal favorite. And here it is at the right price, at the right time, and picked it up. And this one's actually a sealed copy too. So cool. We'll add that one to the stack. All right. First envelope is empty. So what have we got so far? 2 Rune Magics, Panzer, Anca Cruus, Tribunal, Mysticum, Ara, Paradise Lost, and Jade. As you can tell, this pile's a little bit all over the place, but that is 9. I think that leaves about 8 more to go in package number 2. So yeah, we're about halfway through here. Let's see what's in this one. First up, we've got... okay. I don't know how to pronounce this band's name. Simon, I've heard say it several times, and he says it very clearly, and I've got no clue. Un Aussprechlichen Kulten. Probably butchering that a tad. Chilean death metal band, quite cool. They've got a new album out here in early 2024 that's extremely good. Simon did a wonderful review on it. I'd heard the promo even before Simon reviewed it and was pretty wowed. So it's already in the back of my mind that I'm going to want to hear more of this band. And one of their CDs was in this pile. This one was really cheap. It was only about $5 or so. And I am guessing, based on the fact that we're seeing all these sort of like secondhand price tags, that maybe this vendor, bought a ton of stuff from a used CD store or something and is now flipping them. This one is titled, wait for it, Baphomet Pan Shubnigorath. I think several of their albums have 3-part names where it's all kind of 3 mythological creatures, figures, demigods, monsters, or whatever. So in this case, you've got Baphomet, you've got Pan, and Shub-Niggurath from Lovecraft lore. The new album doesn't follow that naming convention, but the first song on the album does. It's something Lamia, Succubus, Teddy Bear. One of those 3 is wrong. I'll let you figure out which one. But anyway, yeah, the new album is fantastic. Really, really impressed with it. Absolutely happy to take a chance blind buying. I haven't heard anything from this album. It's a little older. I've read some reviews and stuff about the band's catalog, and it sounds like they've kind of gradually gotten stronger and stronger over time. So this one may not be as good as the new album. We'll just have to wait and see when I get a chance to check it out. But yeah, I was really, really happy to see that when I was going through their page. That's the kind of thing where it's worth your time to keep digging through all their listings, because you'll find some gems that you really wanted for a good price. All right. So I believe that was number 10. Number 11. What is this thing? Oh, okay. Yeah. So there's another Paradise Lost in here, and this one is Obsidian, which is one of the most recent ones. Maybe the most recent one. Not certain. But anyway, like I said, kind of a chance for me to start catching up a little bit on the Paradise Lost discography, which I hadn't avoided for any reason. Just just fell through the cracks. Sick little monkey can only juggle so many things, and Paradise Lost got dropped. Sir, another chance to dig up some Paradise Lost stuff. Oh, now here's one I had completely forgotten about. Yeah, every time I tried to run through the list in my head, I never remembered this one. What's it called? This is Procession, Doom Decimation. Really good South American band. I want to say Chile. I might be wrong about that. They operate more in a doom metal style than anything. Got a couple of their other records. I've enjoyed them. So yeah, again, it was there, was not very expensive. I've never heard a note of this particular one, so, but for at this point, it doesn't matter. It's $6 more at this point. It's just not that. It's too late to call something like that out. I like the band. Album I haven't heard. It's really cheap. We're already like 11 CDs in. Just add it to the cart. And then he pulled this one. The poor fella packing these up had to be thinking, what the hell? I tell you what, I'm going to set this next one aside for last for reasons. Let's just keep going past that. Oh yes, we had one more Paradise Lost with Medusa. I don't think I've ever seen this one before. I certainly don't remember that cover. It looks kind of like something from a Pallbearer album. Anyway, it's another relatively recent Paradise Lost album. So yeah, we'll be catching up on the Paradise Losts, the Paradise Found, I suppose. That joke wasn't even good by my standards. I'm sorry. It's a little bit late and a little punchy here, trying to remember everything that's coming out of here. Okay, here's one I kept meaning to order and kept meaning to order and just never did. Should have gotten it sooner because I heard it when it came out and liked it quite a bit. It actually made it was at least an honorable mention on my best of 2022 releases. And I actually did try to order it once from a vendor, but then they wrote back and was like, sorry, there was an issue where they had just gone out of stock or something. So I did try to order it, but just missed it. It's the second album from Enchantment, Cold Soul Embrace. So yeah, this was kind of their comeback album. I believe it came out like mid-late 2022. Sounds really, really good. This, of course, Mark G with a C, has a YouTube channel. Super nice guy. Always shows lots of cool stuff. Mark, I'm sorry it took me this long to get a copy of it. Bad on me. But yeah, really was happy to come across that one on the list. All right, but wait, there's more. We've got an album with a very dark cover. Oh, yeah. An extremely dark cover. I'm not going to be able to read this. Anyway, I showed earlier the Ara 2. They also had Ara 1. So, yeah, some really good Swiss black metal. Again, I haven't heard this one. Simon's mentioned all of theirs are quality. As much as I like the third one, was happy to pick up both 1 and 2 in this pile. So, got the Ara stuff caught up. I know they have a side project Simon has mentioned that is also being very good. The name slips my mind, so might have to follow up on that sometime. All right. Okay. Next to last, we're getting near the end here. This was something I did as a call to arms in a heavy metallurgy album review last year. I don't remember what the album I reviewed was, but this one, I kind of got it, very last minute. Had played it a few times and was like, yeah, it's actually pretty good. So I added it as a call to arms. And I've actually played the album by the band a lot more. Now, this is an earlier release by that same band. It is Germany's Norr. So again, they had a good release in 2023. This is an earlier EP that's called Erd. So URD is the title of the EP, 4-track EP. This one is on the, thought so, the Northern Silence Productions label that I talk about a good bit. Yeah, they just seem to come up with a lot of really interesting bands over the past couple of years. I've never heard this EP, but I liked the 2023 album enough that I was willing to pick this up as kind of a blind buy. And so that should be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yes, that's 16. Okay, good night, everybody. It's been fun. I did say there were 17, didn't I? This last one, I'm happy to pick this up. It was literally like $2 or $3. I forget which. It might have been three. It may have only been two. We see what I've bought so far. We've got Paradise Lost. We've got Enchantment. We've got Procession. We've got Norr, Era. Rune Magic, Jade, all kinds of heavy metal across the spectrum. Doom Death, South American Doom, Gothic stuff. And then there's this one that got added to the box. And that person still has to be scratching their head about why this was number 17. It is Bruce Springsteen's The Wild, The Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle, his second studio album. Before you hit the stop button, again, I kind of like Springsteen stuff. I've grown to appreciate it more over the years. This was the one of his early studio albums I have never picked up. I don't think I've ever heard it. I've probably heard some parts of it at some point years ago and don't remember it. The real question isn't why did I buy this along with all this heavy metal? The question you should be asking yourself is why did the seller have this mixed in with hundreds of real heavy metal albums for sale? See, that's how you throw somebody else under the bus while you try to escape and get away. It's not my fault for buying it. It's their fault for having offered it for sale. But yeah, as you know, the one studio album of his that I didn't have, $3. We put it in, and now the pile's that much more interesting because folks will be trying to figure out for ages to come, why is that album on this invoice with these other 16? There you go. Well, I think it's time to wrap this up because I've got to get busy listening to some things. But let's talk metal in the comments down below. Have you been picking up a lot of stuff so far in 2024? If so, what kind of stuff are you getting? Have you been good? Kind of, kept the purchases under control so far? As I said, up to this point, I've been pretty reasonable. Things have just trickled in one or two at a time, steadily. I'm not saying, it's been a dead year, but I've picked up a few things. But yeah, now there's a great big chunk of stuff here. I'm hoping that the rest of March will be really quiet and I can just catch up on these and some other stuff. I only have one single CD ordered besides this, and I have one thing pre-ordered that comes out next, actually, yeah, just in a few days. It's a smaller band, but I like them a lot, so I pre-ordered as soon as it was posted. But yeah, I'm hoping those will be the last two acquisitions until we get to the end of March. But we'll see how that goes. Let me know down below what you've been picking up, what you think of these. Are there certain ones I should start with? Are there certain ones I should not start with? Are there certain ones that I should take out back and burn? Leave the Bruce Springsteen CD alone. That's just my sick little monkey business. It doesn't concern you. All right, until next time, everybody take care. And as always, keep banging your head.